This episode of the Lawyers Hip Hop Happy Hour is sponsored by the law offices of Alfred Guillaume III, a boutique criminal defense firm located in Washington, D.C. The firm specializes in defending federal criminal cases. You can learn more about the firm by visiting our website at guillaumelaw.com. That's GUILLAUME law.com. Welcome to the Lawyers Hip Hop Happy Hour. This month, I had the pleasure to sit down with my good friend and law school classmate, my fellow twin tower, Samuel Anyan, attorney from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sam grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, and moved to Philadelphia after graduating from law school. He is one of the country's most preeminent injury lawyers, having recovered millions of dollars on behalf of his clients. For this part of the interview, Sam chose a lot of records that were popular during our time in law school, such as the Black Album, College Dropout, and many others that are today considered hip-hop classics. We had a great conversation reminiscing about our time in law school and the music that was the soundtrack to our law school lives. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is an interview you do not want to miss. Welcome back to the Lawyers Hip Hop Happy Hour. I am joined again by my friend, my brother from another, plaintiff's attorney extraordinaire, all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, via Baltimore, Maryland, attorney Samuel Anyan, Esquire. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you have stayed to talk music with me, my favorite part of every interview. And as all our guests know, it's a tradition here. It's a well-established tradition that each guest comes in and takes records that have inspired them or that remind them of something in their lives that they want to talk about. And you, sir, have chosen a great selection of records. And let's just start right at the top. So the first record that you chose on your list of digging in the crates was 2004's College Dropout, Kanye West's debut album, a classic for many reasons. One, because it was Kanye West's first album, and two, this was a release when we were in law school. So I have vivid memories about this record in that time. But tell me why you chose this record.
Chose this record for a few reasons. One, having more to do with present day than back in 2004. Kanye West is my son's hero.
Really?
My son wants to be a producer, among other things. Wants to be a rapper, a producer. My oldest,
kind of like you. You're like singer, producer. Like
yeah, he was a producer. He loves Kanye West, so Kanye stuck out to me. I mean, Jesus Walks was a great song.
Yeah, it's a great song
for me, man, and one I could relate to. And
this album was so different at the time. You remember?
It was different. He was witty. His
style was different. He was a preppy style.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it wasn't gangster rap. It wasn't any other kind of rap. It was purely he made his own lane. And this is a great album.
I mean, Through the Wire.
Oh, the Shaka Khan sample.
The Shaka Khan sample. The Jesus Walks, man. I mean, it just really resonated with my spirit.
My favorite two songs on here, since you dropped two, I'm going to drop two on you. It's probably going to be Two Words with Mos Def, Kanye, and Freeway, I think was on that song. I think the Mos Def verse was one of my favorite verses of all time of his and just in general. And you know what? I think I'm going to have to go with Jesus Walks just like you, man, because that is just a really inspirational song, and it's just it was nothing before or like it has been released by any artist, including Kanye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's an amazing song. It was a true gem, and this is released in 2004. This is in our third year of law school, that second or third year of law school. We graduated in 2005, and it just brings back such great memories of that time. I mean, as you know, our law school experience was amazing.
Oh, phenomenal. Man.
Phenomenal. The club scene in DC at the time was phenomenal. And these records that came out around that time in the early 2000s were the last, in my opinion, golden era. I think hip hop has had a few golden eras. It was the last golden era of hip hop.
Absolutely.
So that's a great choice. Which brings me to my next choice, your next choice rather, which is from our last year of law school. Also brings back great memories. Jay-Z's The Black Album. Now, you when you first walked in, you said, "How many Jay-Z albums you got?" I said, "Well, I have a few." So you looked at them all and you chose this one. Why'd you do that?
Man, the Black Album, honestly, this is my workout album even to this day. I just turn it on, man, and I start warming up, and you hear that that interlude comes on.
Right.
You know?
I think Encore is probably my favorite song.
Oh, yeah, Encore is a great song. December 4th.
December 4th is another great song. Forgot about that one. Yes, that's they write back to back those two songs on the album.
Yeah, man. And I mean, one of my favorites is Dirt Off Your Shoulder.
Yeah, that's actually not one of my favorite songs off that record. No, I mean I like it.
You know, sometimes you gotta shake them haters off.
Right, shake
man.
them haters off, man.
And it's not really haters, man. You got haters and you got naysayers. For me, it wasn't really people hating on me, but naysayers.
Right.
I got people saying, "Oh, why you want to be a lawyer?" You know, they don't. You know, there's so many lawyers in the yellow pages at the time.
Right.
What's going to distinguish you? I know lawyers are out there struggling, and it's just like, but they're not me.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
That's
something that Jay-Z would say, but it's not me. It's a lot of rappers in the game.
Yeah, it's a lot of rappers,
me.
but they're not me. And that's the way I feel, man. I can relate to that. I like 99 Problems.
But you know what ain't one?
So.
Yeah, man. I remember this album, and I remember Jay was going to quote unquote retire. As this was going to be his last album. And at the time, I thought to myself, it was a brilliant marketing ploy because I knew at the height of his powers, this man was not going to retire.
Yeah,
But he had a whole tour around that. And the buzz around that tour, I remember, was phenomenal. It was amazing. And he quote unquote retired before making his triumphant return to even more fanfare.
I tell you this, my absolute favorite songs from Jay-Z is Somehow, Some Way.
Okay.
And So Ambitious.
Oh yeah.
I mean those two songs.
It has a great beat.
Are in my rotation. Driving to work, trying to get ready for the day, getting my mind right. So Ambitious resonates. And I play the MTV version with the Roots.
Oh yeah, the Unplugged.
Unplugged.
Right. I remember that.
I just listen to that, let that play. I play my workout albums are the Black Album, and then I play the Unplugged version, and of Reasonable Doubt. You know, his essentials.
Right. That Reasonable Doubt is in the conversation for one of the greatest albums of all time, in my opinion. One of the greatest hip hop albums of all time.
Absolutely.
It is definitely standout album even to this day.
Oh, 100%.
Speaking of which, another album that was a standout album still to this day, and by an artist whose career was cut tragically short, is Notorious B.I.G.'s Life After Death. This album was released when I was in my sophomore year of college, and I remember it actually was released after Biggie had already died. So many great songs on this album. I mean, What's Beef stands out to me. It's one of my favorite tracks.
What's Beef is one of the greatest songs ever.
Right.
I Got a Story to Tell.
It's an amazing song. It's an amazing melody.
You're nobody till somebody kills you.
Yeah,
that's a great song. I mean, Hypnotize, one of the best of all time.
Yeah, that's one of the most well-known
My
songs.
personal favorite on the album. Why don't you take a guess?
Going Back to Cali. That's random, I know, but
it's Bonin' Biggie, baby. It's Bonin' Biggie, baby.
How could I? You were singing that when you pulled the album out. Yeah, it's the song with Biggie and Bone Thugs and Harmony. Man, this is a great choice. And if you had to choose, Biggie had two albums released. I'm gonna say while he was living, although he wasn't living when Life After Death was released, but he had just recently passed away. So of the two albums, Life After Death and Ready to Die, which one would you say is your favorite?
I mean, Ready to Die is a classic.
Right.
I mean, his first LP that's just a classic.
It's a
I
hard
like
choice.
Life After Death as well, but I'd have to say Ready to Die. Ready to Die is one of the greatest albums of all time.
Right.
It's hands down one of the greatest albums of all time.
Released in 1994. This was released in 1997. I mean, Biggie.
I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby. Baby. That's one of the greatest of all time. I mean,
the greatest video of all time, I think, is from One More Chance. The remix. Do you remember that?
The remix, One More Chance. One More Chance is just
when they were
that defines my senior year of high school.
In Brooklyn, and at the house party, and all the celebrities were there. You had Mary J, you had Total, Heavy D was in that video.
It was awesome, man.
Yeah, I think that was a Hype Williams directed video.
To see what's happening to Puffy now, it's unbelievable. That era, I mean, they were on top of the world.
Yeah,
man.
This was the beginning of that of the dominance of Bad Boy Records, and New York was king.
Oh yeah, New York was king of the hip hop world.
New York was king of the hip hop world, and may remain that way for a long time, even after Biggie's tragically lost his life. So now we're going to swing it to present day. You chose this album, which is my favorite album of this artist, even though he's got a good catalog of albums. Kendrick Lamar's second album, Damn, I believe he won a Pulitzer Prize, is hands down my favorite Kendrick album. And you can play this album from start to finish, no skips. I love it. It's such a vibe. This album is my favorite Kendrick album.
Yeah.
No other album comes close. Even his first album, Good Kid, Mad City, it was a great album.
I tell you what, man, Love featuring Zakari has to be one of my favorite songs of all time. And honestly, I'm not a big Kendrick Lamar fan, to be honest with you. I like your producer. I don't like his voice that much. I'll be honest with you.
Shout out to our co-creator Benjamin Simmons, who's not a huge Kendrick fan.
But loves
hip hop.
Love is a beautiful song.
Right.
She gave me a run for my money.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's what we used to call Sam Scrolla. Okay, he's singing Sam.
That's one of my favorite songs. Yeah.
So you've already kind of blessed us with some of your lyrical abilities, your singing abilities, I should say. Which leads me to the last two albums on the table, and we've actually never had this album chosen by a guest. And it is a college album as well. Absolutely amazing. And I used to, back before I met my wife, and I was struggling with the ladies at one point in college. In my mind, I used to pretend like I was this guy, and I was in these situations, and that somehow made me more attractive.
Yeah.
And that guy is Maxwell.
Yeah.
And his first album, Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite, an absolute classic.
I mean, this is one of the greatest R&B albums of all time, my opinion. I mean, if you're into neo soul, if you're into
that neo soul era, that whole era was Maxwell, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu. I mean,
Maxwell. Every song on here is just
right. Something.
So relaxing, so sensual. So intimate,
right?
That you listen to the lyrics and it catapults you into a mind frame of love.
Right, love. I used to pretend I was.
I'm an R&B guy.
You are an R&B guy, right?
I'm an R&B guy.
I remember one of the first times I met you. You pulled up. You had an Acura. Remember that Acura you used to drive? And you were bumping that "I Need a Girl." That ding 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 ding. It was the remix though, and you were singing "I Need a Girl."
Yeah. That's
I was like, who is this big, tall, 7-foot dude singing? I Need a Girl.
Yeah, I mean, Ascension is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Whenever, wherever, whatever. It's a reunion. I mean, this is just. I mean, you can just put this on. Maxwell does the work for you.
Maxwell does the work for you. I think he's our generation's Luther Vandross.
Oh yeah.
Right. They say Luther Vandross was the quote unquote panty dropper. I think for us, our generation, because we were children when Luther Vandross was around.
I mean, can you beat "Lonely's the Only Company"? You can't beat that.
Yeah, Maxwell is that guy. Thank you, Maxwell.
Yeah.
Because I came out of my slump.
Come up to Philly, man. We go to karaoke, man. I might catch me doing one of these.
I think I might destroy you in karaoke. Actually, like real talk. I'm just saying. And this last album, man. If every guest would pick this album if I let them. Sometimes I have to edit the guest because some albums are just so great. that, everyone picks them all the time. But I thought I would not edit this because I would love to hear your take on the genius that's known as Stevie Wonder and his album Songs in the Key of Life, which was in every black household from 1976 on. Awesome album. Tell me about Stevie, man. Talk about Stevie and what he means to you.
Stevie, man. We went to a concert of Stevie's. He was in Philly, the Wells Fargo Center, 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
7 months ago.
Okay.
This album has to be one of the greatest works.
Period.
Period.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Of all time.
This may be number one.
Yeah, it's in the running for sure.
One.
It's definitely in the running.
These songs, Sir Duke,
right?
Village Ghetto Land, Knocks Me Off My Feet.
Knocks Me Off My Feet, man. That's the one.
It's just, Isn't She Lovely?
Oh my God, I cried, man. I have daughters, and that's the song that he wrote when his daughter was born.
As is one of my favorites.
Right, As is amazing.
This album is just, I don't know, man.
It was a moment of pure genius for a genius. It doesn't get any better than that.
Here's the classic that's an all-time. Love's in Need of Love Today.
Right. Think
about
lyrics.
The world we're in today, and some of the hate, and families being separated from each other, due to immigration, and the climate, the political climate, and what's going on around the world in Ukraine, and what's going on in Israel and Iran, and is love not in need of love today?
Yeah.
That resonates today more than anything. My personal favorite is probably Knocks Me Off My Feet.
Knocks Me Off My Feet is mine as well.
I believe,
As.
It's just. This is the album.
Were your parents big Stevie Wonder fans?
My parents were big Stevie fans. My dad had a robust album collection. He was big into the Bee Gees, and he was big into the Beatles, into Motown, and into Stevie. He had an office in my basement, and the walls were just filled with albums.
Do you still have those albums today?
I don't know what he's done with those albums. I hope he does. I need to talk to him about that.
Right.
I don't know if he has those albums, but I actually, in my parents' basement, I believe he does have those albums. But he just has an incredible music selection.
Yeah.
I remember that. Growing up, it's one of the things that's
stuck in your head, right? A lot of these albums I bought recently, the hip hop albums especially, but the older albums, I collect them and I find originals, and this is an original that Stevie Knocks Me Off My Feet, because I don't want a reissue. I want the original album with shows the wear and tear of the cover, and it shows that it's had been alive for almost as long as I've been alive, and that to me is like collecting a piece of history, and I just absolutely love it. I feel like this is my parents' generation. This album was when I was just born. Yeah, man, I love music, as you can tell, and so do you. And you, growing up in the 80s, man, as little kids listening to these things, it just has such it never leaves you.
You wonder sometimes which one of these songs is the reason why I'm here.
Right, exactly.
Is there one of these songs that aided in the process?
Correct. And Stevie was also that guy too.
He was. Yeah.
Sam, I'm so glad you came. I really appreciate your fellowship, your friendship, man, and your reminiscing with me, memory lane, talking about music. It's been amazing. I hope to see you soon. I told you before, I'm gonna tell you again, I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work, and let's get it in on this 20th reunion, my brother. Let's
do it. Alfred, you're doing a great thing with the Lawyers Hip Hop Happy Hour. Happy to be a guest. Happy to come back at any time, man. And keep doing what you're doing, brother. You're doing a great job for the Howard Law community. Appreciate you, man. Much love.
Thank you, man. Much love, my brother. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Lawyers Hip Hop Happy Hour. Make sure you listen to part 1 of the interview and catch up on all past episodes by subscribing to the podcast, which is available everywhere, including Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. New episodes are released on the 12th of each month. And if you'd like to see the video version of an interview, that can be found on my YouTube page at the Lawyers Hip Hop Happy Hour. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you on the B-side.